Hey, we're working absolute value equations. Here's a little different one than what we've been working. Let's say we've got the absolute value of 5 minus 2x, and it's equal to the absolute value of 2x plus 7. Now that looks different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this absolute value over to the left of the equal sign, equal to 0. Okay, let's go ahead and drop these absolute value bars. So we have 5 minus 2x. Now this minus sign here is going to have to be distributed across. That's going to be minus 2x minus 7 is equal to 0. Now that's one of our equations. Now remember, we drop the absolute value, we write two equations. Well, that's one of them. And the next one, of course, you would just put a negative out in front of the 0, which is not going to change anything. Okay, not going to change anything. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So collecting up like terms, what's going on? I mean, something's fishy. No, nothing's fishy. I thought I saw something that was strange. Okay, so we have collecting up our like terms. We have negative 2x minus 2x, that's minus 4x. And I'm going to just go ahead and write it like this, minus 4x. And then we have a 5 minus 7, which gives us a negative 2. And remember, that's equal to 0. So now what we'll want to do here is solve for x in this problem. And I don't care how you do it. I mean, we'll go ahead and take the 2 over, makes that a positive 2. And so we're going to write x is equal to bringing or multiplying both sides by negative 1/4. Negative 1/4, that'd be the reciprocal of 4. And that makes that a negative 2 over 4. Which of course reduces down to negative a half. Reduces down to negative a half. Now you can take your negative a half and plug it in right here. 2 times negative a half is negative 1, but then you have this minus, makes that a plus 1, and so you have 5 plus 1 is 6. Well, let's plug that in over here. A negative a half plus 2, or negative a half times 2, I mean to say, is negative 1. And negative 1 plus 7 is also 6. So there you go. Alright, let's work another one of these. 3 minus 4x, remember it's the absolute value, is equal to 9 plus 4x. Okay, so once again, we're going to rewrite this minus the absolute value of 9 plus 4x, and that's all equal to 0. Okay, dropping the absolute value bars, make sure you distribute this minus across here, or you're going to be in big trouble if you don't. Okay, collecting up like terms, we have negative 8x. And then 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Set that equal to 0. Alright. So we have negative 8x is equal to 6, right? Taking this over to the right makes it positive, so positive 6. And therefore we have x is equal to negative 6 over 8. Right? Just take this and take it diagonally down below the 6. Now what we'll want to do is simplify this, and what do we got? 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. Right? Negative 3/4. So that's what's going to be in our solution set. Negative 3/4. Now remember, I said that you would rewrite this again, but make a negative out in front. However, no need to do that. We just end up with the same number. Okay. Right, and then you can always go back. You should always go back, check your work, plugging negative 3/4 into that, which is negative minus 4 times negative 3/4 is a positive 3. So right, makes that a 6. Yeah. And then doing the same thing over here on the right, negative 3/4. It's going to make that negative 3, and 9 minus 3 is 6. Alright, funny thing, I think we got 6 in the last problem on both sides. Okay, there you go. That's going to be it for this section on absolute value equations for right now. But I'll see you in the next one. I think we got absolute value inequalities coming up. And I'll see you in the next section.